I saw Bring Them Down, which it's a drama, it's a thriller. It also seems like it's an indie film. If you see the trailer, the gist of it, it's about these Irish sheep farmers that are neighbors. I really like the lead actor, Christopher Abbott, and I always mix him up with the actor who plays Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. I always mix them up. And Barry Keoghan is always phenomenal. I thought he was really, really good. But yeah, Christopher Abbott, not that I'm trying to derail this review, he was in this movie called Sanctuary, and it was about, dominant and submissives, and it seems like he's been in a lot more stuff lately. That Wolfman movie. Anyway, he's just really, really great. And it's funny. So they have subtitles for the entire film, which I thought was a little silly, because obviously I understand there was moments they were speaking Gaelic, which I understand having subtitles for that. But there was never a point when they were speaking with their Irish accents that I was like, what are they saying? And I, studied acting in Ireland at the National Theatre of Acting there, and I went to Cork. Now, if they were supposed to be in Cork, maybe they are supposed to be in Cork. You really can't understand people in Cork. But anyway, I thought that was like a little silly. It wasn't even that heavy. I wasn't like, huh? I really put, hold on. I feel like I'm about to spoil things. So I'm actually just going to warn you now. Anyway, the gist of it, I really, really liked it. It's a heavy film, kind of a bummer. But I really, really enjoyed it. So now I'm going to get into spoilers. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Okay. So I kind of put two and two together of the metaphor of, the lead character Christopher Abbott bringing down Barry Keoghan, bringing him down the mountain, and how it's the same metaphor for the sheep. And obviously, it's not lost on me that the title of the film is Bring Them Down. I meant to research for farmers of what the significance is of bringing the sheep down. Because when they said that in the movie, it seemed like it was a much bigger deal, and I didn't really understand why. Like, I don't think I fully understood it contextually. But I thought it was really, really cool and interesting how they showed the different perspectives of the different characters, like kind of showing you things again. And almost like you felt like you could see the different stories that people were making up in their head and showing it from these different perspectives, and how, we all in our lives, we project and make things up. And sometimes we just assume the worst in people, and we make up a story about someone or whatever. And then it leads us down this very dark place. And so often when it goes unexamined, we don't realize that. So often when it goes unexamined, we don't realize basically that it's our own shit that we're projecting. And I feel like it gets to this boiling point of resentment of his father, of the lead character's father, because his father was who the mother was going to leave, and why he got so upset when he was driving, where he ended up getting in an accident and having the mother die and leaving him with this guilt. And I also literally got just now actually that the Barry Keoghan character, that he's actually no different from him. He got upset and made a mistake that had an impact because he was so tormented about his parents getting a divorce and his parents breaking up. And, him and the lead character, Christopher Abbott, at the end of him admitting how bad he felt to the lead actress, his former love, and almost like he blamed and beat himself up and just let himself simmer in his own regret and his own resentment for this however long. And it's like he finally was able to open up and say he was sorry. And almost like it's almost like it had to get that bad for him to acknowledge the past. And it sounds like he just avoided talking to her and like completely shut down and like kept taking care of his father, but it was from this like obligatory place. And it's like from our perspective, Barry Keoghan's dad, we assume that the dad did it, right? And then we find out that the son did it. And it's like and then we find out, okay, well, I guess his dad was just being an asshole and in like survival mode, right? So I feel like it's important for me to mention and give some sort of trigger warning specifically for people in regards to the animal violence in this film. It was really, really upsetting. And I had to close my eyes at certain points, and it was very necessary, I think, to show and make certain points in the film. But I know that it's really important, trigger warning. There is animal violence in this film. The dog does die, and it's very, very upsetting and very hard to show it. And even the alluding to it, even though they don't like directly show certain things, was very uncomfortable. And there's a lot of violence towards sheep. And I really got at the end, it's almost like at the end, he went to go die with his dog. He even said to her, like, kill me. It's like he's already gone. It's almost like the only thing that he had left was the dog that really mattered to him and his sheep. And once they're gone and he has no purpose, and that's the purpose that it gave him. And it's almost like he was already dead from the moment that his mother died. And when he goes off at the very, very end, the final shot of the film, and they talk about like when dogs die, they actually go off to be alone. They want to be alone because it's like they're connected to it. So it's almost like I felt that was a metaphor for also him. Like he went off to go die and lay himself to rest with his dog, which was like freaking so devastating. I think one of my favorite moments was when he punched his dad in the face, and it's like his dad finally got responsible, specifically Barry Keoghan's character, sorry. So the Barry Keoghan character, he punched his dad in the face, and it's like his dad finally got responsible, and it's finally that he was at the source of that, what his son was doing and being that way was because of his actions. And when he hugged him and he patted him and he said, it's okay, boy. It felt like that was the first time he's like, I'm going to break this cycle of violence, like in this roundabout way, like his way of taking responsibility for it. And man, I wonder if this is a real thing, like people cutting the legs off sheep. Oh, so devastating. Anyway, the film was really good.